Howdy do there. Come back to y'all with another story in my life. These are going to be, I'm going to try to put a few of them on this one. There's going to be like stories about when I was in prison. And I'm just, uh, I'll start with light, kind of light, humored, but they'll gradually progress darker as they go. Won't be rated R, but it's definitely going to be PG-13, so anybody not into a little bit of, well, there ain't no man loving involved, I'll tell you that much. But uh, so one night I was laying on my bunk. I had the bottom bunk. I was at the OSR, the Oklahoma State Reformatory, and my cellie was an older gentleman, or he was older than me. I was like almost 30 at the time, and he was about 10 years older than me. I don't know. James Dunn. Yep. He was a friend. Turned into a friend. Good guy, actually. Be surprised. But anyway, so he was laying up on there on top of his bunk, and he was reading a book, and I might have been doing the same thing. I don't know. I was doing something. Yes, I was reading, because that was the problem. Because his blanket kept falling down, and the light, the light's in the center of the cell, up top, and the light that it gives off, you know, you know how physics work, right? I can't explain it, but surely I understand. But I was barely getting light. I kind of had to lean off to the side of my bunk to get the light to read. And every time his blanket would fall off over the side, just hang limp, it would impair my reading. So I'd knock it up a couple times, and I told him, I said, hey man, you're going to have to keep that up there. And he said, well, it keeps slipping down. I said, well, keep it tucked, do something. Well, here directly, sure enough, it fell off on this side, but it done fell off on this side first, by the wall. And so what I done is I grabbed a hold of it, and I go just like this. Yeah, and I got him trapped up there, however he was, I couldn't see, but however he was, like his blanket was on him, and so I tied him like that, and then he wiggled his arm loose, and he leaned over like that, and he started trying to stab me with a pen or pencil or something, and then he, like I said, he almost got me or got close, so I let go, and it turns out what it was is I was when I had him tied down, well, he was dependent on that as he was on the edge of his bunk, so I wouldn't let go. He poop. Yeah. Oh, he was all right. He landed on his butt. All right. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Pretty funny. All right, number 2. This one goes like this. So prison is about respect. All about respect. If you ain't got it, if you can't give it, you can't get it. If you can't earn it, you ain't gonna get it. And that's a fact. And so this story goes off as this newer guy. He comes in. With this time we're at the Stringtown, Oklahoma, McAlford Correctional Center. Yes, that was it. And so this guy, he goes to canteen and he comes back. Oh, he had lots of food. He maxed it out, bought whatever he could. And then when he got back, man, some of the gangs, or one of the gangs, I ain't gonna call nobody out on it, but one of the gangs go up there and they say, hey man, we're taking that. And they did. And the dude, he had 2 options, and he chose poorly. He could have got his ass whooped, or he could have walked away. Well, he chose poorly. He walked away. Then, like somehow he drifted right beside me where I was standing. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, Dad, come man. Like, cause right now he's bleeding. He's bleeding in the water, and there's sharks, right? Everybody's seen what just happened, and now this guy's standing beside me. I ain't never even talked to him, and I don't know his name or nothing. Never seen him again after this. But okay, so here it goes. So I looked at him and I said, yeah, you're in trouble. He said, what do I do? And I said, you need to go over there and try to get your stuff back, or you need to catch out. Well, I guess he has heard stories about catching out. Catching out is you go to the guards and you tell them you're in fear for your life, and then they put you in solitary confinement, or what is it, PC? What is that? Politically, no, uh, I don't know, protective custody. But it's just in segregation into a cell your own, which it can't be that bad. But then you're marked to catch out in a bitch, a punk. You don't want to be a. Being a punk in prison is better than being a bitch, and a punk is the one that gets it. So, where was I? Yeah. So he decided not to catch out. He done heard the rumors about being a catch out. He didn't want to be called a bitch, and I just told him that's what he was. I mean, without having to tell him that. So, they're cleaner than I thought. So he goes into his cell, and he comes back out with the whole lock and sock technique. Now, if you're asking me what's the lock and sock technique, well, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a combination lock inside of a sock. You swing that little puppy around, yeah, yeah, you could do some dents in things. You know what I mean? It's a dent maker. Well, so here he goes. He goes right up to the guy and he's like, I'm gonna need my stuff back, you know, and he had it, his wave lows were down there. He had to kick him out of the way so he could step. But here he goes, they don't see the thing, you know. He goes, I'm gonna need my stuff back. And they're like, yeah, you're gonna have to take it. And he goes like this. And he goes and gives it a, you know, like old David and Goliath, right? And here's a note y'all should remember. If you're gonna try this technique, have a good sock. Because when he got like that daggum lock, it shot off in another direction, almost hit the black guy and started a whole nother mess of worms. But he got the piss beat out of him. He got drugged out. Life goes on. Let's see. I don't want to run this past 10 minutes, and here we go. So this will be the last one. And here I am standing on the pod. It's canteen day again. And I'm over at the microwave getting that fresh cup of coffee, you know. And I seen these guys from another unit come in, and that's bad. They're not supposed to. It's illegal, against the rules, whatever. And they come in and like, all right, you know, but it's canteen day. People red light. It's called red lighting, and people do that all the time, you know, to collect money, cigarette money, whatever, canteen money, drug money, yada yada yada. But I'm going to back you up a little bit because the night before I went to take a shower, this guy, he go tick tock, tick tock. He goes by the name Monster. That's his street name. If he sees this, you remember me. So he's in the shower, right? And he got a homie standing out guarding on the shower. And then I go to get in there, and Monster like, let him in. And I'm like, daggum, I don't need permission to take a shower. It's public or whatever. It's a dorm shower. And but I thought it funny, you know. I noticed that night, you know, cause like, so he's expecting somebody to run in on him. He knows this white boy ain't gonna run on him. I knew the guy, you know. We kicked it. So here them other guys come. This is a black on black thing. No race war, nothing like that. It's all black on black. I think it's a blood gang, maybe. I don't know. But so here comes the other guys from the other unit, and they come in, and the biggest one goes in Monster's cell with him. Door shuts. Da 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 da. You hear all the banging around. Then he comes out, and I'm going over to go 10 minutes, but he comes out, the big dude from the other unit, and his life liquid is all down the side of his body. And he walks out of the cell. He gets maybe 15 steps. Plow, face plant is right there in the middle of the pod. And he gets back up. I didn't think he would. I told my cellie, I said, he ain't getting back up, that's it. But he did. He got back up almost stood all the way up, and I don't know, ran out of blood. what had happened was Monster was an OG in the blood unit, in the blood gang, and he had some kind of disrespect or something, and they were going to take him to court. Take you to court means penalize you for your mistakes, and you rarely get to pay your way out of these. You normally going to take some lumps, black eyes. It depends on the infraction, how bad you come out. You know, they say boots to the head. They say, give me a black eye, give me a dead man. Well, that's what you're going to get. And, well, Monster being an OG and a killer and having to do life in prison, he wasn't going to let this little youngster come in there and beat him up. And he would have. The dude would have beat him up. So instead of getting beat up, Monster pulled out a knife bigger than the one I own out here in the free world and stabbed this fool in the neck and no telling where else. Life's a box of chocolates, huh? You never know what you're going to get, and most of them ain't going to be worth a shit. Most of them ain't worth a shit. I got more. Good Lord, I got more. I don't want to bother y'all. And I certainly don't want to bother y'all with prison escapades when I've done so many other things. But, yeah. I guess we will, though. Oh, I'd like to touch back on another one of my videos about how I didn't go to video cool school and I don't have a cool backdrop. Well, I'd like to give a shout out to the designer of my backdrops now. Guy, thank you. Thank you for creating us such a beautiful scenery here to shoot these videos. Look, if I'm too dumb to go to school and learn how to make it, too broke to buy the right kind of equipment, having to shoot these on a cell phone out here in the beautiful Ponderosa forest. Well, I had to go to the man and get a better backdrop than you guys, the rest of y'all guys. So, hey, you know what I mean? Get them how they come.